Many of us in the Caribbean and all over the world are related because of our ancestors. The Tainos are one of the most common ancestors we have. Let's find out about their history and traditions. David and Diana found an old diary that belonged to their great-great-great-grandmother, Nana. She wrote about the history of the Tainos and their way of life. Now, let's open Nana's diary and read carefully about what she says about the history of the Tainos. Let's go. Our tribe came all the way from South America. We traveled northward to the island chain of the Lesser Antilles and the Greater Antilles. Some of our cousins settled in the Bahamas and some the islands of the Northern Lesser Antilles, but we settled in the Greater Antilles, which is Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, and Puerto Rico. Our ancestors came from the center of the Amazon basin. From there, they went through Guyana and Venezuela and got to the Caribbean islands. Did you know that the Amazon basin is the largest tropical rainforest in the world, covering a size approximately equal to 6 to 8 million square kilometers? Caribbean historian Tony Hagar believes that the warfare with their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs, pushed Tainos out of their native territory. The competition for resources became so intense that the Tainos began slow migration. Our society was divided into two classes. There were the Naborias, which were the common people, and the Nintenos, which were the noble people, the rich ones. Both classes were governed by chiefs known as caciques. The caciques could be male or female. The cacique sat on a chair of wood called doho or dojo. There were mohiques, which are also known as medicine men. We lived in villages called Yucayekis. The villages in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico were the largest ones. The villages in the Bahamas were the smallest. The Tainos built large round houses called bohio, where several families lived. People slept on cotton hammocks or hamacas. Let's continue to imagine ourselves as a Taino. What would life be like? Where would we get our food? How would we prepare the food? How would we dress? What would we do for fun? How would we worship? Let's think about it. Let's go back to Nana's diary. She said, "We planted cassava and yams, corns, beans, squash, tobacco, peanuts, and peppers. I loved to eat birds, but not lizards so much. When we hunted for food, we brought our dogs. Sometimes our parrots were used to distract wild birds. My brothers loved to catch fish and shellfish to roast or make yummy soup. My father and uncles wore loincloths, and we ladies wore aprons of cotton or palm fibers. I was always excited when we painted our faces on special occasions. We wore earrings, nose rings, and necklaces that were sometimes made of gold. When we were little, we learned to make pottery and baskets. Our favorite fun time was playing ball on rectangular courts. We played a ball game called Beatty. Beatty was also the name of the place where we played and had dances. We had religious beliefs and rituals that involved the worship of spirits we call semis. So we carved out little statues and prayed to them. Our life became dreadful between 1493 and 1494 when the Spaniards came and enslaved many of our people. A few of us ran away on a flat bridge that was hidden underwater, up into the mountains and caves, but starvation and disease wiped out almost all of our people. We stayed in the caves in the mountains until we were joined by some Africans who also ran away from slavery. We worked together to hide and protect our children. I collected the precious items from those who left us and hid them in my favorite cave. One day, I hope my descendants will find my treasure and remember how we survived. Do you guys remember David and Diana? They are Nana's descendants, and when they found the diary, this dropped out. I wonder what it is. I wonder what they will find. We hope you learned a lot about the history of the Tainos and their traditions. You can read the story about the Taino diary to see what David and Diana found. The video is coming up next.